Picture a rainy evening in Munich, 1920s. Dietrich von Hildebrand strolls past shadowed streets, wrestling with a question that's haunted him since childhood. What truly makes a life worth living? He's not chasing wealth or fame, but something deeper, something that can't be seen or held, yet shapes every heartbeat and choice. That elusive something, virtue. But not just any virtues, 7 secret, soul-saving virtues that color every corner of your spiritual life. What are they, really? And how do they pull us out of the shadows? Stick around. We're about to crack open that mystery. You might think courage is all about heroics or daring feats. But what if the real courage lives quietly, deep in everyday decisions? Dietrich von Hildebrand shows us where true bravery actually hides, and how it's key to unlocking the art of living. During the Nazi occupation, priest Helmut Richter risked his life to protect persecuted families. Without headlines or medals, his courage was a steady flame, refusing to flee or turn away. This wasn't a blazing charge, but a quiet, persistent resistance. What drove him wasn't reckless boldness, but a deep-rooted conviction, one that saved lives and earned a place in the invisible annals of true bravery. Von Hildebrand likens courage to a fortress built inside you. No matter how vicious the storm outside, fear, doubt, pain, the walls hold firm. Unlike adrenaline-fueled exploits, this fortress doesn't crumble with exhaustion. It's forged gradually through repeated choices to endure, to speak up, to remain loyal to what's right, even when it's costly. The payoff: when you nurture this inner fortress, fear loses its grip. You begin to see daily challenges as invitations, not threats. Over time, hesitation melts in favor of decisive, honest action. It's here you glimpse the art of living, bravery that shapes not just moments but a soul's entire landscape. Faith might seem like blind trust or distant belief, but von Hildebrand flips that on its head. Faith is a living anchor that steadies your whole being. Let's dive into how this unseen force grips reality and reshapes how you face uncertainty. In wartime Vienna, nurse Anna Schwab faced endless suffering. Amid bombings and despair, her faith wasn't some abstract thought. It acted like a secret lifeline. When friends faltered, Anna's faith gave her a grounded calm, allowing her to comfort strangers, heal wounds, and find hope where most saw ruin. That faith was the quiet pulse beneath all her strength. Von Hildebrand analogizes faith to roots gripping rocky soil. You might stumble or lose footing. Life's uncertainties are brutal rocks, but faith anchors your soul firm below the surface. It doesn't stop the storm, but it keeps you from being swept away, exposing your soul to nourishment and growth even in hardship. The transformation is stunning. Faith shifts your mental wiring so you interpret challenges not as dead ends but as lessons or tests. You stop asking "why me?" and start asking "what now?" This subtle shift colors your whole experience, turning chaos into meaning. That's faith, living and breathing in the everyday. Hope often feels fragile or naive, a candle flickering in the dark. But Dietrich's great insight: hope is a powerhouse. It's a muscle you can train, and one that transforms despair into forward momentum. Hans, a soldier wounded and stranded during World War I, promised his family he'd return despite odds. That promise wasn't empty wishful thinking. It was a lifeline sparking every painful step in the hospital. His hope was a stubborn ember, growing stronger each day, pulling him back toward life and a future still unseen. What kept him going was more than survival. It was hope in action. Von Hildebrand describes hope as a muscle. Like lifting weights at the gym, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. When you face setbacks, choosing hope is the exercise of your spirit. It's not passive waiting, but an active, persistent push forward, even when the path isn't clear. That's how the soul toughens. The payoff. You start to see hope as a tool, not just a feeling. It rewires your approach to problems, turning defeat into detours and failure into feedback. This shift unlocks creativity, resilience, and joy even when life's pitch black. Hope becomes the artful engine of living. Love ain't just a feeling. You've heard it 1,000 times, but von Hildebrand drills deeper. Love is an act, a choice that constantly shapes reality. Let's see how love as virtue rewires your heart and the world around you. Marie and France, a modest couple in interwar Austria, chose every day to put each other's needs first, even amid poverty and illness. Their love wasn't a grand gesture but thousands of small sacrifices. A shared meal, a kind word, a bedside vigil. Over time, these acts built a quiet fortress of devotion that outlasted hardship and made their love almost tangible. What seemed invisible was their greatest strength. Von Hildebrand compares love to a sculptor patiently chiseling marble. Each choice carves away selfishness and rough edges, revealing a refined form underneath. Love demands active participation, shaping who you are and who you want to be, just as a sculptor brings life from stone. The payoff. As love shapes you, you notice how you act toward others changes unexpectedly. Patience replaces irritation. Generosity replaces greed. Your relationships deepen in lasting ways, and you become a beacon of warmth others can't help but mirror. This is love as a transformative force, alive and expansive. Justice might call up images of courts and laws. Von Hildebrand invites us to see it in a radical way, as the soul's demand for what it rightfully deserves. Let's unpack how this restores balance inside and out. In a small Bavarian schoolhouse, teacher Gertrude Weber disciplined students with a firm but fair hand. Her strictness wasn't cold or arbitrary. It aimed to cultivate respect and growth. Students learned boundaries mattered. One day, when a troubled boy challenged her authority, she responded not with anger but clear, consistent justice that turned his defiance into trust. That act wasn't punishment but a reclamation of dignity for both of them. Von Hildebrand likens justice to walking a tightrope. Too harsh, you topple into cruelty. Too soft, you slip into chaos. Justice demands a precise balance, weighing needs against rights like a skillful acrobat. It's not just about rules but honoring the soul's inherent worth on both sides. The payoff. When you live with justice in your heart, inner turmoil settles into peace. You stop battling resentment and entitlement, replacing it with fairness and gratitude. Outward relationships reflect this internal harmony, creating communities where trust and respect thrive. Justice emerges as a quiet but powerful source of order. Remember that rainy Munich evening when Dietrich first asked what makes life worth living? Those 7 virtues answer that call. They're not just lofty ideals but living forces shaping every breath and step you take. Courage, faith, hope, love, justice. They start small in quiet moments and choices. So tonight, try this. Identify one virtue you want to grow tomorrow. What action will stretch that muscle or light that spark? Live that tiny radical act. The art of living isn't distant. It's in your grasp, in your moment. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.